Pro Cup car and go short track racing, you'd best cinch up all the strats you got. Bring all your friends and your best game, because these drivers can't play, and sometimes it gets a little rough. Today they have a new yard to play in. Everybody, say hello to Ace Speedway. Speedway in Altamahaw, North Carolina hosts round 3 of United Speed Alliance Racing Hooters Pro Cup Series for the year 2000. The Naturally Fresh Foods 250, presented by Johnsonville Bratwurst. A week ago in Hudson, North Carolina, Mother Nature decided that the Mayflowers needed some April showers. And we've had a little more of the same here today, but they've put the finishing touches on the racetrack, and we expect to get this race in here tonight. Hello everyone, I'm Brian Trevor. Glad you could join us, and if you have already been with us on the Pro Cup Series, you know that we've been talking about rookies, rookie drivers. Well, tonight that's not going to change. I'm standing here in the middle of the 5th row, and outside is Keith Woody. He's making his first ever Hooters Pro Cup start. Right next to him is Kevin Barrett, who's second in rookie points. In front of these guys, it's mostly rookie drivers again, and behind them, almost half of the top 20 are rookies here tonight. So you see, Bill Venturini, you got to watch out for these guys.
All right, Brian, you've been beating me up all year, and again, you're right tonight. 6 out of the top 10 are rookies, but how many rookies have won so far this year? My money's with the veterans, and speaking of veterans, I've got the hometown favorite, Jay Fogelman. Jay, what's going to take to win tonight at this racetrack?
Hopefully it's going to take a veteran driver. You know, we've got a lot of laps on the racetrack here, the old-style racetrack. It's a new racetrack, really tight. It's give and take. You've got to give people some room getting in the corner. And, you know, the younger drivers, maybe they're not going to give and take and may not be there at the end of the race. And hopefully we'll be there all night with a KFC high-tech Ford, and just want to put on a good show for the hometown.
Yeah, and we're going to watch the veterans go to the front. Let's go to Stephen Cox.
Well, Bill, I know this guy is technically a rookie, but Stacy Purrier probably has more laps at this racetrack than anybody else here. Another guy that's really coming on strong, David Pletcher, really came on strong last year in the Hooters Pro Cup Series with some very, very nice runs. Just now coming into his own this year, putting the pieces together. He's on the outside pole. Our Discount Auto Parts pole sitter is John Wood. Way to go. You've been running up front every time. What's the secret?
There really is no secret. You know, have a great crew, good crew chief, great sponsor. It'll fall into place. I mean, it just takes it's a combination, and if you get the combination, you're going to run good. I mean, we really have a good car tonight, and I'm looking forward to it.
John Wood and the GoRacing.com Chevy, our Discount Auto Parts pole sitter for tonight. Now, Billy V for veteran Venturini. Take a look at the points.
Yeah, top 3 in points, veterans. Mario Goslin, first-time winner Andy Thurman, and Charlie Ford running 3rd right now.
Rookies 4th and 8th in the points, and as we look at the rookie standings, it is John Wood who leads Kevin Barrett by 10. Let's go downstairs and get them started. Here's Randy Wilhoit for the honors.
Gentlemen, and the Johnsonville Bratwurst car, start your engines!
No favoritism there out of our Grand Marshal as these cars fire them up.
Yeah, you can tell he's definitely watched a few races. He knows how to plug the sponsorship.
We're going to be racing here in just a few minutes as the sound of racing engines is filling Ace Speedway. Stay with us. The USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series has been brought to you by Hooters Restaurants. Hooters, delightfully tacky yet unrefined. And by Jackaroo Sauces. Jackaroo tastes so great they named their steakhouse after it. By Naturally Fresh Dressing. It's not just our name, it's our promise. And by Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer. Cars circling the racetrack here in Altamahaw, North Carolina for the Naturally Fresh Foods 250 presented by Johnsonville Bratwurst, and you can see them circling slowly. Our weather report brought to you by Renegade Race Trailers. Take it away, Weatherman Bill.
Yeah, I hope everyone brought their jackets. When the rain cleared, it got a little chilly tonight, but it's beautiful weather for racing. You just got to be prepared for it. Again, looking at this track, beautiful 4/10 mile oval, but you got to get used to this pit road, because if you notice, you come in off of turn 3, actually turn 4, but you exit out the center of the back straightaway, so everyone's got to be careful.
Well, watch the 09 car of Jabe Jones tonight. Jabe rolled the thing off the truck, and it was fantastic. Then he said, I worked on it, and it got slower from there. It even got slower when they put new tires on it, and they went backwards, backwards, backwards all day long. By the time they got to qualifying, Jabe was all the way out of the top 20, but he says he thinks he's going to have a good race car tonight.
Take a look at our Jackaroo Sauces qualifying grid, and you already met the 3 rookies who qualified up front. Stephen Cox introduced you to John Wood, mentioned David Pletcher, and also Stacy Puryear, who's inside row number 2 as we take a look at the whole thing. And then it's Marty Lindley, a former rookie competitor who started 4th. We get back to the 5th place qualifier, and finally we run into the veterans, Mario Goslin and Clayton Rogers, another rookie out there on the outside.
Okay, I'm tired of hearing that rookie name in this here. But inside row 4, in the Hooters Ford, Bill Plemons Jr. Start next to him, Marty Ward, 6-time winner in this series.
And it's Kevin Barrett, another rookie on the inside of row number 5, and Keith Woody. I was standing there at the beginning of the night watching those guys, and Keith Woody has a lot of laps on this racetrack. Mike Laughlin Jr. has finally put together a good qualifying effort. Motor problems that have been plaguing him in the Valinite Tool entry. And Regan Smith, yes sir, another rookie.
And then we've got Jeff Agnew in the Twin City Motor Exchange Chevrolet, and start next to him, Mark Nesbitt in the State Fair brand Corn Dog Chevrolet.
Jeremy Bowser goes in the Ingleside Interiors entry number 58 with Darrell Hayes. Yes, another rookie in the 45 car out of King, North Carolina. Sean Studer, 3rd in rookie points in the Yoo-Hoo car. And then it's Tim Clayton in the 07 outside of him there in the Budweiser Santa Fe Logistics Chevrolet.
Inside row 10, John Kinder, and next to him, Bobby Gill, last year's champion at PGT Industries Ford.
20th qualifier. Then it's the 12 car, Tim Edwards, the Edwards Racing Chevrolet, and Brian Vickers, a rookie back there in the number 42 car, the CV Product Chevy. Jabe Jones goes in the Jackaroo Sauces car, and Andy Thurman, a race winner this year in the Naturally Fresh Mountain Spring Water number 47.
Row 13, Jay Fogelman in a Jeffco Ford. Start next to him, Shane Huffman, another rookie in the Huffman Ford.
And let me think, he's in the Johnsonville car, right?
Yeah, the Johnsonville Browers.
Then it's Derek Kelly in the Discount Auto Parts Chevrolet, and Chris Diamond, who's been the hard charger 2 races in a row. Trent Owens is back on row number 15 in the number 32 car, the Richard Petty driving experience car, and then the Curtis Davis, a rookie. Charlie Ford had to take a provisional here tonight. Distributor problems in qualifying, and look at Don Satterfield, another provisional back there.
And look at this, Steve Christian had to take a past rookie's provisional in a Lucas Oil Products Chevrolet. You know, these guys were really surprised that they didn't make the show.
And qualifying did present some serious problems. On board with Derek Kelly, looking out over the deck lid of the Discount Auto Parts Chevrolet. We know we will see some action there. He's always in the middle of it. Jabe Jones carries a camera and looks through the windshield using that camera in the Jackaroo Sauces entry number 09. That's a Chevrolet. Keith Woody, again, lots of laps around this racetrack. His whole crew figures they'll be showing everybody how to get around, and they'll be showing you on board with his entry. And then finally, Buggy Pletcher, Dave Pletcher in the Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauce car will be giving us a look through the windshield here as well.
What is this shot?
It's the pace car shot. Jim Totten, our official pace car driver here for the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series, has got a camera on board too. Failed to qualify, did not make the show. Look at some of these names, very familiar. Most notably Karen Schultz in the Naturally Fresh entry. Don Sprouse, who usually gets in there. You know, a lot of guys did not make the show here tonight. We're going green with the flag waving by Greg Curtis, our honorary starter here today from Convenience USA. We're underway for the Naturally Fresh Foods 250. John Wood dives down into the corner in the lead. Great qualifying effort, fast all afternoon in practice. Rain, dry, didn't matter. When he went on the track, he was the guy to beat.
He was definitely hooked up.
And he is once again. He's pulled away a couple of car lengths now over Pletcher. Marty Lindley has gone from 4th to 3rd right quick. We got some side-by-side racing with Clayton Rogers on the outside.
Yeah, and that's not where he wants to be right now. This is the type of a racetrack that definitely you want to be on the inside lane. They've even made that decision at the drivers' meeting to have the slower cars be on the outside on the restarts because this is such a tight racetrack and everybody needs to race down on the line.
So you mentioned tight racetrack. I really had a distinct pleasure of sitting down and talking with Billy Gill, Bobby's dad, and who was a wealth of information. And I asked him, There's Bobby right there. I asked him is this track kind of racy? Because we're all new to this place. And he said, well, it's kind of a groove and a half. So my comment was, well, that's great if you got 3/4 of a race car and so does the guy next to you. What does that mean, a groove and a half, Bill?
It means it's going to be tight. We're going to see a lot of fender rubbing tonight.
He did say, though, that if you set your car up to run on that second groove, that you can race up there. And then I asked him, well, what's it do when you try to take it down low? And he said, well, it'll push.
They're running side by side right now, which I'm surprised. I thought everyone would try to get down to the inside, and run that inside groove. But Andy Thurman, naturally fresh Ford, running the outside line right now.
Well, maybe they're trying to get down on the inside, just can't do it. There's somebody already there, but you're right, a lot of side-by-side racing. Here's Bill Clements Jr. in the number 15 car, the Hooters Ford.
As Bill said, this car is smooth as a swan, but I'm going to drive it as tough as a tank.
And Bill Clements Jr. is pretty tough. He has shown that in the first couple of races of the season as he has gotten his program very together. He's following his former crew chief, Marty Ward, around, the number 97 Harrison's Work Shoes car. So this is a guy that's punched in and gone to work today, Marty Ward.
You can see now everyone's kind of settled down. Everyone's down on the inside groove right now. This is a beautiful facility. I heard about it being here tonight. Beautiful pits inside. It looks like the promoters here spent a lot of money. The racing surface has been repaved. I mean, it's just really a nice facility to race on right now. There's Keith Woody running 9th, but rookie, but this is like his home track. I also know that this is Brian Vickers' home track too. They do a lot of racing here, these two guys.
Keith Woody in the Sandvik entry, number 83. Yes, they feel as though they know their way around this racetrack, but John Wood, in spite of being new to the place, definitely has been the man, the young man, if you will, and a rookie driver. But is his car ever working fine here today? First caution out on the racetrack, and the 12 car, Tim Edwards, goes around. Edwards in the Edwards Racing Chevrolet finds the inside wall and is now trying to find the racetrack again.
Look at the inside guardrail. You can see how hard he hit the inside guardrail. He actually moved it in. But, I didn't see what happened. I know he got sideways coming up the corner. I don't know if he got touched or not.
All the spotters working hard here tonight already. Very important at this place. Under our first caution here at the USAR Hooters Pro Cup third round, because the third round on the schedule got rained out, here we are. We're going to call this the third race of the season because that's exactly what it is. Behind John Wood, the pole sitter and rookie qualifier, Dave Pletcher is right behind him in the 51 car.
Boy,
and it's Marty Lindley.
Brian, look at these cars. You better get used to you're not going to get used to seeing them looking this pretty. Oh, look at the guardrail.
Oh, ouch. That's where Tim Edwards nosed it in there, some fresh tire marks, and they're going to have to do some inside guardrail repair. Here's Jim Totten again. Hi, Jim.
I think we're going to even have to keep an eye on a pace car because it might get hit tonight because this is such a tight racetrack.
Jim's looking in the mirrors awful lot. Here we go, back to the green flag, and look at the jump that John Wood. I mean, he controls the start, but that is just ugly, jumping away by 4 car lengths on everybody.
Well, I don't know if he controlled the start or not. I think everyone else must have been sleeping. I don't know what was with Pletcher, but man, did John Wood get a jump on the start.
On board with Dave Pletcher in the Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauce and Spices entry, and he's starting to close it up just a little bit. But John Wood and that number 116 GoRacing.com has definitely taken those words to heart. He's gone racing,
no doubt about it. With a jump like that, when you get that good of a restart, what that does is it puts you at ease for about 5 to maybe 10 laps. You can settle down, especially a young guy like him. He gets the chance to settle down, feel his race car, get a little more comfortable. Car 00.
Going
Curtis
down
Davis.
on side, yep, Curtis Davis. Black flag for passing on the wrong side on the restart, so the USAR officials brought him in and back out.
Did the temperature come down any?
Yeah, it's about 230 right now.
You look better in 3 and 4 than 1 and 2. You're really stopping it 1 and 2 there. You go in harder than anybody else out there. I don't know if you can roll it in any better. I don't know. Get a better run off.
Clayton Rogers taking the spot away as we were listening in on the crew talking
saw that in practice. Some guys could get through, 3 and 4 much better than 1 and 2, and I didn't really notice why. But
Mike Laughlin Jr. heading down pit road. Got a glimpse of that. There he is in the Validite Tools entry. We're hearing that he may be having a tire problem. Meanwhile, we go to the race for second, led by Marty Lindley. Down to Stephen Cox.
Well, you guys could easily see Mike Laughlin all the way from up there in the booth really falling off the pace very badly. Well, he's drawn it in, and they've got a tire that's going all the way across pit road here. They're changing a front right, and Mike's going to go back out as quickly as he can. That's all the problem he had, other than the fact that he killed the engine.
You hate to pit on the green, but you got to pit if you got a tire.
Well, yeah, you could see it. He lost like 15 spots right away, and I knew something was wrong. I couldn't tell what, because I couldn't see which tire it was. But, they came in, made a tire change, and let's see if I don't know.
He's coming back out, but the car still doesn't look very good as the second, third, and fourth place guys go around and back to Stephen.
Well, they checked the air pressure in Mike Laughlin's front right tire, and that didn't seem to be the problem. Whatever the driver felt in the cockpit, they're having a hard time finding it down on pit row. And, Bill, they're going back to the old-fashioned way to find out if this thing still holds air.
Yeah, poured a little water around so you can see the air bubbles, but, Mike can tell right away. He got out there. You can see the car still wiggling a little. I don't think they found the right tire.
On board with Derek Kelly in the Discount Auto Parts entry, number 21. Started 27th, trying to work his way up through the field. You see a whole lot of cars behind him. He's getting the job done.
Yeah, do you notice you can hear how long they're on the throttle, how long they're not on the throttle, I guess I should say, real quick.
John Wood getting into a little bit of traffic going around Trent Owens in the 1-800-B Petty car, number 32, and he just pulls away. Here's then the race for second. Marty Lindley, Clayton Rogers, Dave Pletcher, and Stacy Puryear kind of lined up in that order right now. And you can see there are a few more cars back there, and there's still a little bit of 2 wide or group and a half wide racing going on.
Look at Mario working the inside of Mario Ward right now. And you said, there wasn't quite enough room for 2 cars, and Mario stuck his nose in there, kind of just moved Marty Ward out a half a groove, and was able to sneak underneath him. And Bill Clemens is looking to do the same thing right now.
He's having a look down inside on Marty Ward.
Mike Laughlin Jr., I noticed, is coming back down pit road.
Yep. And Mike Laughlin Jr.'s problems continue while we watch Mario Gosselin racing out on the track once again down the street.
Well, they tried to find the problem in the front end of the race car, and it wasn't there. Now they're checking the rear end of the race car to see if it's in the back end. Still, they haven't found anything, and Mike Laughlin is saddled with a car that's virtually undrivable.
See, he was turning the rear tire. He was checking to see if the ratchet was broken in the rear end.
They're checking everything down there, and the mystery continues as Stacy Puryear drives his number 92 car, the RBR Enterprises entry. He was the pole sitter for the very first race of the year in Lakeland, and one of those rookie contenders, of which there are many. There's Mario Gosselin giving him a run from up behind in the number 16 car. Let's go down to Stephen Cox. Maybe they have the answer.
Well, after 3 pit stops, they think they found the problem, and you're looking at it. The right rear tire apparently going down on Mike Laughlin's number 7 race car. It really cost him early on.
That is tough.
What they should have done when they came in for the first tire change and changed the right front, they should have just changed right side tires, and then it would have at least eliminated 2 tires. But, with the tire situation you have in the Hooters Pro Cup Series, you want to save your good tires for when you really need them, but, sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't.
Rookie driver John Wood, the race leader, going on the inside. Regan Smith, number 28, in his Lakeside Motorsports Unlimited entry. And on the outside of Don Satterfield, and the 3 of them got together. Just got a glimpse of it, but we are going to see another yellow flag here as Regan Smith takes the number 28 car up towards the outside wall, made some contact up there, and we are under yellow for the second time. Here's another look.
Well, John tries to make it 3 wide. Oh, yeah. And he got on the brakes hard because he realized he wasn't going to be able to do it, and just got into Regan and just touched him enough to spin him around. What a break for Don Satterfield in the Hawk Saw Blade Chevrolet. He was just ready to go a lap down. Now he gets to make up the whole distance around the race.
Yeah, John Wood tried to stick it in this middle there, realized he couldn't make it, stood on the brakes, but it was too late. Let's go down to Stephen Cox for some more.
Can you tell me what happened out on the racetrack? It looks like John's okay, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Everything's fine. We checked the fenders off the tire and all. I think we're going to be all right for the rest of the race. Just got in some lap cars there and got a little tight, so that's the way it goes, you know.
Now tell me about the race car right now. What's John saying about it?
He says neutral. Everything's looking real good. I think we're going to have us a good run tonight for the Go Racing team.
Yeah, when you have a car that's that fast, so quick, you don't need to push the issue. He needs to settle down and pick his spots.
We'll be back here in Altamahaw, North Carolina in a moment. United Speed Alliance Racing Hooters Pro Cup Series, the naturally fresh foods 250, presented by Johnsonville Bratwurst at Ace Speedway in Altamahaw, North Carolina. Glad you could join us as we go back to green. And Bill, we just learned something new from John Wood.
I never knew you could restart a race coming in on the pit apron, but John Wood just showed that you can.
Hey, if you're the race leader and pole sitter, you can take a shortcut. Mike Laughlin Jr. had a chance.
Yeah, Mike says, oh, maybe I'm going to be able to get back one of my laps. And now with a start like that,
no, John Wood didn't give him much of a chance. Marty Lindley is the second place car on the racetrack. Behind lap car, Mike Laughlin Jr. And then Clayton Rogers in the number 2 entry there. Fire Protection Services Chevy.
Bill Clemens really got loose coming off the corner right there. He's working underneath the double zero car.
On board with Keith Woody and the San McCormack Company entry. A lot of laps here on this racetrack. Comes from this area. Races here on a very regular basis. Had a good qualifying run, 10th.
Yeah, he's got a good shot of these two cars in front of him bouncing off each other's fenders. You see that?
And the tube hanging there.
Yeah, those are for drinking water. You have usually have a thermos behind your seat, and then you have a drink hose that comes up usually to the headrest. It's taped to the headrest, and when you're thirsty, just grab something from the tube.
Well, and Woody might be thinking that this is going to be a long race, a bit longer perhaps than he's used to on a regular basis in the local show here at Ace Speedway.
Yeah, but you usually don't grab that drink tube when you're racing on a track this tight. You know, you wait for a yellow before you take a drink. You see car number 28.
Yeah. Regan Smith up there, grazing the wall. Coming back down next to Jay Fogelman there, his number 4 KFC entry tonight.
I'm sure Jay was a little apprehensively wondering what was going to happen if he was going to be able to keep it straight coming off the wall.
Well, Regan Smith is really stuck up there on the high groove, and I don't think he likes it one single bit as Jeremy Bowser comes down inside in the Ingleside Interiors entry.
Look at Mike Laughlin Jr. here.
Yeah.
He's definitely working the back bumper of John Wood right now.
Well, he's got more for Wood than any of the cars on the lead lap, and now Wood moves over and lets him get his lap back.
I think that's a smart move because, you know, John Wood knows I've got a fast car. You know, Mike Laughlin Jr. in a Velinite Tool Ford is definitely down several laps because he's had the tire problem. And he just decided, I'm not even going to bother racing with him. I'll just let him go.
Our Goodyear full field rundown. We've had a lot of looks at the top 5. Mario Gosselin has moved up into 4th. Marty Ward begins the next 5 with rookie Kevin Barrett rounding out the top 10. And then as we look, former champion Jeff Agnew running in 11th spot. He's had a good run. Bobby Gill is up from 20th to 14th along with Jay Fogelman. Those guys are headed for the front. John Kinder rounds out the top 20. And he's driving the DailyDrill.com multimedia graphic car. There's Charlie Ford, who started way in the back, and he's up to 22nd already. Steve Christian started back there. He's to 24th. Don Satterfield to 27th. Those are the 3 guys that had provisionals, and they are definitely moving up in the field. There's Mike Laughlin Jr., who's dead last right now if the car is running, and Tim Edwards out from that first caution incident where he modified the inside guardrail just a little bit. The 01 of Marty Lindley, the Hallelujah Redneck Beef Jerky car. And Studer takes it around with Charlie Ford right behind him. Ford kind of eases backwards into the side of the Yoo-Hoo car. Chris Diamond caught up in it there. Our 2-race hard charger.
Mike Laughlin, he didn't hit anyone, but he had to stop. And while all these cars were stopped, John Wood went by him, put everybody a lap down.
Well, we're definitely under caution here at Ace Speedway now as the pace car comes out. Jim Totten driving out there to pick everybody up. Charlie Ford still trying to, come on.
Turn around, you're going the wrong way right now.
He's a veteran driver. I'm sure he's got that figured out, but there's so many cars on this 0.4 of a mile track, it's hard to get a spot in line. Here's another look at it. Yeah.
It looks like, Sean Studer in a Yoo-Hoo Chevrolet was up in the outside groove, started to come down going into the corner, tried to get down to the bottom, and I don't think he realized Charlie Ford was there. They just touched just enough to spin him around. That was strictly a racing accident. I don't think,
Yeah, it looked like Studer actually kind of checked up behind a white car just in front of him. But we're on board again with Jim Totten in the pace car looking at leader John Wood. He's still there. A lot of folks, including us, enjoying Johnsonville bratwurst here tonight. Chew on, Bill. The world's largest touring grill is with us here tonight, and Shane Huffman's driving the Johnsonville bratwurst car. Right now, let's go down to Stephen Cox in the pits, though.
Well, Charlie Ford is third in the points, but you saw the scuffle that he got into down there. There were 2 or 3 cars in a pile, and this is just a quick check to make sure that they're not tearing up the right front tire with body work.
Earlier today, we had a chance to talk to veteran driver Charlie Ford about being, well, would you call it something of an underdog in the series here?
No, I consider myself the old dog. It's a lot of difference. I've got a few years on me, and I've got a lot of young boys out here, and they get a little aggressive sometimes, and I sit back and try to be a little patient, and sometimes it'll pay off late in the race, and sometimes it won't.
Boy, yeah, he made a comment about patience. That's something I found out that as I get older, I sure don't have much of that.
Once again, looking back for the pace car. Once again, John Wood takes the shortcut, stands on the gas, and jets away from Clayton Rogers, who's now taken over the number 2 spot there from Marty Lindley. And these guys are underway once again. Clayton Rogers, we saw Mike Laughlin Jr. had a little something for leader John Wood, but he was a lap down, well, several laps down, actually. And now let's see if Clayton Rogers can challenge the leader in the 116GoRacing.com car. Lindley's dropping way back.
Yeah, and look at Mario Gosselin. He's trying to make it 3 wide at a track that I don't think he can go 2 wide.
Well, Billy Gill says 1.5 wide is all you're going to get here tonight. Bobby's dad, there's Dave Fletcher. Once again, as we're on board with him, watching Mario Gosselin make a surgical pass on Marty Lindley. Now you figure that Dave Fletcher saw how it's done. Let's see if he can do it himself. He's coming down inside. He's looking.
I think he's got him.
Oh,
he's got the fender under him.
He's got the door. He's got the rear fender, and now he's passed. So he saw it done. A lap later, he does it.
Yeah, I've been watching Mario, and he's definitely systematic in how he passes everybody here. He'll work them a little on the outside, see if they'll go to the outside, and also they'll go inside. He's really using up his brakes to do it.
Hey, let's listen in on Brian Vickers in the 42 car.
All right, look, if you can get off of 4 a little bit lower, a little bit straighter, look like you might do a little bit better. Am I wrong, CV? Now listen, Brian, if you charge in the corner, it's going to push. So if you give up a little going in, that way you can get off the corner a whole lot better and you can get under somebody and go by them.
Yeah, that's Mike Gross, who is a spotter, but you notice he made a comment. He said, give it up a little going in if you have to so you can come off a little better. You can see Brian was definitely cutting the corner a little too sharp, and he wasn't coming off smooth, and that's what they were trying to get him to do, was to just come off the corner a little smoother.
Rookie driver Brian Vickers in the number 42, 2 quick performance entry. A lot of traffic out there on the track. Brian Vickers down low on the inside. That's the fast way around here. Marty Lindley's been having a little bit of a problem getting pushed up to the outside, and now Marty Ward's challenging him.
You notice earlier I made a comment about how the racetracks 1 and 2 were the same. You couldn't notice the difference. After watching the racing and seeing what's going on here, what everyone's doing, why the corners seem to be different, is that you got a guardrail in the middle of 1 and 2, and you don't in 3 and 4, and everybody's trying to cheat the corner in 3 and 4. So it makes you enter the corner differently, and the car reacts different. That's why everyone says, you're good in one corner and you're tight or pushing in the other one. And that's because they're cheating the corners by running on the apron.
Now, you don't mean actually cheating, like John Wood cutting down through the inside there. That's a good move.
I don't mean cheating in that aspect. I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's just cheating the actual race course itself.
Taking a look here at the number 2 rookie contender in the series, Kevin Barrett in the Sykes Cooker entry. He's the driver in our spotlight this week.
Daddy was racing when I was born. I was just born into it. That's all I've knew all my life, just racing. My brother started racing, you know, the year that I started, but I got to going with him and helping him, watching him, and decided to give it a shot. We drug a car that had been setting up a long time, and the pastor drug it out, fixed it, and went to the racetrack, and after that, we've been hooked ever since. We raced together, and now he's helping me, he's my crew chief. I've got a whole group of guys that works just wonderful together.
Surrounded by friends and family, including his wife Vonda Barrett, who scores for him, Kevin is battling for Pro Cup Rookie of the Year.
All the rookies are real good, and then there's some, you know, real big names like the Woods brothers, grandsons in it. You know, you got people like that that's, you know, that's good competitors, got good equipment. And you've got a large number of cars that can win the race, and that's what makes it so tough competition. But it's going to be a tough road to, you know, get it all done, but we're going to give it our best shot. Yeah, winning, it's my favorite part of racing because, you know, you can run second and feel pretty good about it, but when you win, there's nothing else like it.
After racing for 15 years, now they call him a rookie, but he's off to an awful good start in the 2000 season.
I just like to finish the year up real well in the points. You know, do well in the rookie points, the overall points, maybe win some races. That's what I'm pushing for. And it's hard to find, you know, somebody to foot the bill and get the race for 15 years, and I just feel like I've been well blessed.
Well, Kevin Barrett and his crew that he says works well together, they had some problems in practice. The engine ate a push rod, dropped a push rod. I went down there and asked them, first of all, did they know why? They said, well, we have a theory. And I said, can you fix it? And they said, yeah, I think we can fix it, and they did.
Yeah, you know, he made a comment about how his brother helps him now. I got to say one thing about racing. This is the only sport that I know of that you can involve your whole family. You know, me and my son, we go racing, him and his brother. The one thing about racing is it's such a family sport. John Wood, his dad, you know, it just brings your brothers, your aunts, your uncles, your sisters. Everybody can participate.
A lot of times, and I know that what you're saying is true, because a lot of times family members work in different parts of the world away from the racetrack. It's coming together on the weekends that makes them a family again. You see that so many times. It's the only chance they have to spend time together.
Yeah, you know, all the ball and stick or stick and ball sports that you have, you don't have that type of participation with the family. That's what I just love about this sport, and especially this Hooters Pro Cup Series. It's such a family-oriented thing. I just love it. I can't wait. You know, I'm working on a deal trying to get my kid, Billy, to be able to run in this series, and we're working hard at it.
John Wood, the leader. Clayton Rogers, young driver in second spot. Here goes Marty Ward in the Harrison's workwear and Works on the hood there. That's Works shoes. He's going down on pit road. But we're watching Clayton Rogers and veteran Mario Gosselin. Here's the measure of a rookie if he can hang on under these conditions. Down to Stephen Cox.
You can see the smoke pouring out of Marty Ward's car. Marty had a very, very nice run going after qualifying in 8th position, and they're looking under the hood. I thought that perhaps it might be some either oil smoke or perhaps bodywork rubbing up against the tire. It doesn't look to be either of those. The crew doesn't know yet either, guys, so we're going to play a guessing game down here until we get a chance to talk to somebody.
We're going to play a guessing game up here, Bill, and I'm going to guess it's an oil line, and you're going to guess where it goes. As Chris Diamond's sitting on the racetrack, we saw the caution come out a moment ago, but Diamond just can't get in line.
No, I don't know if he spun into the oil or not. Let's see.
Here's a replay looking from Derek Kelly's Discount Auto Parts car.
Nah, he had a little help. Yeah. He had a little help. You know, at first I thought maybe it was some oil from Marty Ward, but no, it wasn't. He definitely had a little help.
And talking about Marty Ward, we're now learning from down on pit road that it's the oil line going to the rocker cover, what we call the valve spring oiler, I guess you would say. With a leak, they should be able to get it fixed quickly. Under caution here at Ace Speedway, most of the leaders are coming into pit, including John Wood and the number 116 GoRacing.com entry, and of course, that's where Stephen Cox is. Stephen?
Well, guys, we're obviously going with the two-stop strategy, and that's a surprise. On lap 78, we don't just have one leader in, we've got most of the leaders all the way in. John Wood is one of them. They are not going to make adjustments on the car. The car's been very nice, very neutral for John all night long, and your pole sitter is not even going to make separate stops. Now, a lot of times you'll see Hooters Pro Cup teams come in, change 2 tires, go back out on the race course, change 2 more, but John's doing everything at once.
Pretty good looking stop there for the crew on the 116 entry as Jay Fogelman leads them away from pit road and his Kentucky Fried Chicken entry there.
You know, they run the pace car slow enough that they try not to trap anyone in the pit, so that's really nice. Gives the competitors enough time to go ahead and make their pit stops and do anything they want to do to the cars.
So they're back out on the racetrack, and of course the order will shuffle. The new leader is the number 2 car, and Clayton Rogers in the Fire Protection Services entry out of Mooresville, North Carolina. And young Clayton was one of those guest of honor as rookie drivers were introduced to the public at a Hooters restaurant in Greensboro. Members of media on hand, and of course some of the folks from the nearby area got a chance to meet the younger or at least new drivers on the Hooters Pro Cup Series.
We got some people from the local media and from Richmond media and a couple radio stations down here, and we've been doing some interviews and trying to get some promotion for ourselves and for the series.
You know, we're just down here signing some autographs, having fun. Hooters have done a lot for us today. They gave us a title, you know, brought some waitress out here, brought a little scenery out here. Having fun. But a lot of the press people are here, and we're just getting some stuff done.
GoRacing.com driver John Wood ran into a little bit of a surprise, an old friend, actually an old babysitter.
Well, see, I went through so many. I mean, I was so wild, they couldn't really manage it. But yeah, I do remember bits and pieces. Yeah.
He was wide open, just crazy, running around everywhere. Sure, I hope to watch it on TV, but I have to work tomorrow. So.
I'll be making a visit to the boss, and we'll be talking about
All
this.
right, yeah, you get me out of work.
We'll discuss it.
Boy, if my babysitter looked like that, I would have never wanted to grow up.
Well, you got to go racing sometime if your name is John Wood, I suppose. Well, now he's a little bit deeper in the field, and Clayton Rogers has taken over the lead. Stephen Christian is all the way up to 6th from his back of the pack start position, partly because of many of the leaders stopping and partly because he's running up through the field. While we were away, we did have a caution come out real quick. Here's the incident. Jeremy Bowser goes around with Shane Huffman locked onto him. We're on board with Jabe Jones in the Jackaroo car, and now another look from off the deck lid of the Discount Auto Parts Chevy.
Yeah, you can see though, look, see the 2 cars up against the wall. That was the first 2 cars that wrecked. And then coming into it, Andy Thurman gets into the back of Bill Clemens Jr. and spins him.
As they were both checking up. On board now with David Fletcher running in second behind leader Clayton Rogers. And up in front of Clayton Rogers is Mike Laughlin Jr. in the Valentine Tool car. And he's got one of his laps back. Earlier we talked to Bill Clemens Jr., who's got a little something extra on this week.
But it's no different than the Cheyenne, the Comanche, and all of them had to protect and take care of their territory, and that's what we got to do. I said, the kids love it. I love it. I said, it's good for racing. I said, we want these fans to come out here this first time we've been at Ace Speedway to let them know that these Hooters boys can put on a show and we're going to race. We got a good car. We've been running good all day in practice. We're qualified 7th. That Lofton car, Dale Burns prepared car, is just an awesome car, and we're going to get at it. We're going to come on in. This is similar to what we've raced a lot of in dirt, and so a little short. I mean, it's nice straightaways, tight corners. We just get in there and you just got to kind of root. So I figured, well, since I'm riding a big wild Indian horse, that I just reach up there and grab it a hold of the neck and let it run.
He said he's got to let it root. You notice right now he's actually the 4th car in line, but you got to understand something. Mike Laughlin Jr. is not the leader. He's some laps down. You got Clayton Rogers the leader. You got Pletcher running 2nd, and the 3rd car out of that group is Bill Clemens. But now he went a lap down from that incident, so he's trying to make up his lap right now.
We're looking at some action deeper in the field as Steve Christian's doing a little rooting of his own out there with the 45 car of Darrell Hayes, rookie driver in the Carlin Financial entry out of King, North Carolina. Now we go back and watch on the inside Mario Gosselin, on the outside Derek Kelly, and way down on the inside Marty Ward. And with Bill Clemens' war paint, Marty Ward's crew was having a ball as they were pushing their car up to the grid. They're doing like a tomahawk chop war dance thing, beating on the car like war drums, and they were getting into it too.
Boy, that Bill Clemens, he's a character. How about he makes it so much fun to go racing.
Goodyear full field rundown again, showing leader Clayton Rogers, David Pletcher, Marty Lindley is the third car on the racetrack, and rookie Kevin Barrett is in there. Don Satterfield
running 6th.
Yeah, and this is the guy that started dead last in the field.
And almost went a lap down.
Yes, he did.
Remember, he was just ready to get lapped when the caution came out.
Jay Fogelman, who started deep in the field, is up there. Bobby Gill, who started 20th, has been hanging around, and he's in 16th spot right now.
Steve Christian just came down pit road. I wonder what kind of problem he's got.
He was losing positions on the racetrack. May haven't, yes, there we go, the right front. They're changing the right front on the zero car. Steve Christian was actually the guy who started dead last, 33rd. Satterfield started 32nd. Both of those guys were running towards the front. Satterfield's still there, and Christian's had to make an unscheduled pit stop. Mike Laughlin Jr., a very fast race car. Too bad for him that he had tire problems that it took him a while to sort out, because he's just as fast as, if not a little faster than the leaders. Clayton Rogers, David Pletcher, Bill Clemens Jr. trying to make it. Oh, and we got another spin as Jay Fogelman goes around. He gets tagged by Bobby Gill. Yeah. There's Regan Smith pulling up to the scene of the accident without incident, and now they're getting going again. So this is going to help Mike Laughlin Jr. He's going to be able to go around, get on the tail end of the field, and will have made up one of his laps. Fogelman's dragging something underneath the race car, and let's get another look.
Let's see if you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Same situation that we saw earlier. You know, getting into the corner, 2 cars going for 1 spot.
Derek Kelly diving down on the inside. Fogelman kind of coming, pinching off. Already made his turn. He's squaring it off and coming back in. Bobby Gill couldn't get away from it. Here you're going to see another look. Boom. Gill is on the brakes hard, along with Studer, who misses it. Gill just ticks the front end there. Not a lot of damage, apparently. And another look from Derek Kelly. He was involved in this one. Look at Marty Ward taking evasive action.
Good job by Marty Ward on missing everything.
And Fogelman's down in the wall. He'll bring the number 4 car down onto pit road for some attention while the leaders circle behind the pace car. We'll be back to Ace Speedway in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Hooters racing action right after this.
Hooters Pro Cup Series, the Naturally Fresh Foods 250 at Ace Speedway, presented by Johnsonville Bratwurst. And a second round, you might say, of leaders pitting, as now Clayton Rogers, Marty Lindley, and the guys who did not stop earlier are coming down pit road. There's Clayton Rogers in the Fire Protection Services number 2, who's done just as good a job of leading this race as a rookie driver as John Wood did for the early laps. Marty Lindley, a former rookie contender from the 1999 season, bringing his 01 car down onto pit road. Stephen Cox is with the leader. Let's go downstairs. Stephen, what do you got?
Clayton Rogers into the pits, and they have decided to make only one change to this race car. They're going to close up the stagger just a little bit in the rear end and try to adjust the handling a little bit. Most of the cars out here have been a little bit tight all night long. So far, that's not Clayton's problem.
Crew working on the PGT Industries entry of defending champion Bobby Gill. And a little bit of cleanup there, perhaps an overzealous gas fill.
Yeah, you notice they said they were going to tighten up the stagger on Clayton Rogers' car. That means the car was loose. They want to actually tighten it up a little.
And the pace car is circling around the racetrack. The new leader now is David Pletcher, Buggy Pletcher in the number 51 car. Big Daddy's barbecue sauce. He's being followed by Bill Clemens Jr. with a chance to take the lead. As we look at Shane Huffman's Johnsonville Bratwurst entry, you got to know one of the big attractions around here has been the brats.
This is the Johnsonville Big Taste Grill. It's the world's largest touring grill. It measures 65 feet in length, it weighs 53,000 pounds, and it can cook 750 great tasting Johnsonville bratwursts at one time. We've had some sports figures up on the grill. Brett Favre has been on the grill. Tom Arnold is a big fan of the Big Taste Grill. We've had the governor of Wisconsin, Tommy Thompson's been on the grill. The most popular comment we get is, now that's a grill. And I say it just like that, and it really is. It is the world's largest grill.
The big grill is something else, and it's Johnsonville's certainly excited to be with us, and we couldn't be any more excited to have them on board. And everybody at corporate Johnsonville is excited, and they've been aware of what's been going on down here in Carolinas and heard good things. So when it gets all the way back to Wisconsin, we must be doing something right.
I'd hate to have to cook all of those sausages.
You know what? But they didn't have any shortage of people wanting to eat them.
Some carburetor adjustments for Jay Fogelman. They're still having a hard time getting this thing straightened out and running right. Jay really thought he had a good race car. The handling's fine if they can get it to run.
Well, Jay Fogelman came here with high hopes of running well, considers this a home track. Our next race is going to be the first of the 4 Champions Challenge races at Myrtle Beach Speedway in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then we go to Peach State in Georgia, back to Lakeland, Florida, where it all began. Well, you saw the rest of the schedule. We'll show it to you one more time, I'm sure, here today. And you need to make sure you make a note of where to be for Hooters Pro Cup action.
Did you see that restart by Dave Fletcher? It almost looked like John Wood. He says, I'm going to try and use the bottom of the apron. We had a car sitting right in the center of the back straightaway.
And that's Jabe Jones, who had slowed down right in the middle of the backstretch there. Never really got a chance to get going on the restart, and now they're throwing to caution as Jones is trying to get his car going. The Jackaroo Sauce's entry is having some problems.
Yeah,
He's got fluid. Yep, that's
right-hand corner. See, he's
cooling.
overheating. Yeah, he's definitely overheating. I thought I saw some smoke come out of it before. Yeah, can't even get the car started right now.
They're bringing in one of the track trucks here to give him a push. Jabe Jones could be an early night for him if he can't get that car cooled down just a little bit. And it appears as though they are headed behind the wall with the 09 Jackaroo Sauce's car. Under caution here at Ace Speedway, we'll take another break and be right back. Welcome back to Altamahaw, North Carolina, just north of Burlington.
Yeah, I want you to notice something. You know, we're used to seeing the lapped cars on the inside. We didn't really harp on this too much, but if you notice, the cars on the inside are the lead cars, the lapped cars on the outside. Bill Clemens is on the outside. He's 1 lap down. He's trying to make up his lap right now.
His best chance of doing so.
And he's been driving his heart out, let me tell you.
Dave Fletcher with a pretty good jump on the inside, but veteran Bill Clemens Jr. was right there with him, and now he's got him on the outside. He's door to door with Fletcher, the leader, and if Bill Clemens is going to get a lap back, his lap back, this is the time to do it. On board with Keith Woody running in 11th spot right now. The Sandvik.com entry, man, we said is really the local favorite here, probably has as many, if not more, laps than anyone on this track. He's right behind Sean Studer in the Yoo-Hoo Chocolate Drink car.
I think it was a little love tap in the center of the corner, because you can tell, you know, he got underneath him. You saw the car just jerk just a little.
Oh, Marty Ward takes the Harrison's Workwear number 97 around and backs it into the inside rail. So we're under caution once again here on lap number 118, just short of the halfway mark of the Naturally Fresh Foods 250. Watch the bright orange number 97 right in the middle of a traffic jam.
It looks like he got a little help from Derek Kelly. Couldn't quite tell, but yeah, I'd have to say. And it seems like getting into turn 1, everybody's having a problem judging getting in.
Yeah, he's just checking up in the turn there. Marty Ward couldn't avoid it. Let's go down to Stephen Cox with Dale Burns, the crew chief on the Plemons car.
Well, Bill Plemons is still looking for his first win, and Dale, this might be your chance to put it together. I understand you guys got back onto the lead lap. Give me the story.
Well, I tell you, you know, this Hooters Ford Laughlin Racing Products car, I mean, we got a real good car tonight. You know, he's driving the wheels off of it. We pitted early trying to get us some track position. It didn't really work out in our favor. You know, we got turned around down there, but hey, I think we got a good car. We just got to keep our fenders on it and try to be there at the end.
That is the same Dale Burns that used to be with Derek Kelly last year. That's now with Bill Plemons Jr.
Well, it's always a little bit of musical chairs. No musical chairs because every seat in the house is going to be full at the 4 Champions Challenge because of all the money that's at stake here. A huge bonus available if one driver can win all 4 races and the championship. He's a wealthy man. And you can find out all about it if you visit our website at usarprocup.com. Restart now with 3 laps to go to the halfway mark. Dave Fletcher out in front with Jeff Agnew 2 cars back, officially in second spot. Steve Christian with a chance here to get a lap back that he lost with an unscheduled stop, changing the right front tire. He's parked behind leader David Fletcher. That's going to make it good for Fletcher because the second place car's got a car in front of him.
Yeah.
It's a traffic jam. Mike Laughlin Jr. Oh, you saw that one coming. Oh, and just Chris Diamond just missed the guardrail down on the inside.
Well, I think Brian Vickers needs to go thank Chris Diamond for being there, because if he wasn't there, I think Brian Vickers would have spun. But you can see it coming. You know, go 3 wide into the corner.
Here comes the Lucas Oil halfway leader, Dave Fletcher, with a runaway victory halfway through this race. He led for 18 laps. This one counted for $1,000. The Big Daddy's Barbecue Sauces, number 51, goes home a winner of the halfway prize sponsored by Lucas Oil.
Look how smooth he is coming off of the corner. The car's not shaking, it's not twitching. He's just driving, getting in real nice, getting on the throttle nice and smooth. That car is like, it's almost like it's on a string right now.
Well, he was very fast. Oh, and look at this. Charlie Ford getting sent up a little bit high there, and somebody's got a problem. We're seeing sparks flying. And now Marty Ward kind of weaving his way past Charlie Ford. Here's Jeff Agnew who goes around. Everybody's still moving, but they are going to throw a caution flag. Agnew was not able to get back out onto the racetrack and pointed the correct direction before the USAR officials decided to throw the flag. Jim Totten in the pace car waiting to pick up the leader. And the field is slowed down once again here at Ace Speedway just past the halfway mark. So it'll be interesting to see who, if anyone, stops. And we're already starting to see a lot of those cosmetically challenged Pro Cup cars out there.
Yeah, we kind of expected this when you're this type of a racetrack and this type of competition. You got to expect a better run.
Well, we are under caution once again. We've slowed it down. Give us a chance to catch our breaths and you to make a quick trip to the fridge. The USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series is brought to you by Hooters Restaurants. Hooters, delightfully tacky yet unrefined. And introducing a great new dressing from Naturally Fresh. Classic Caesar, a special Caesar taste from Naturally Fresh.
Welcome back to the Naturally Fresh Foods 250, right here at Ace Speedway.
Southern hospitality at its very best. Now there's something worth remembering. Together, everyone achieves more. There is no I in team. As these crewmen are looking on, let's take a look at our Lucas Oil Products halfway recap. The race began with a green flag and pole sitter John Wood in the GoRacing.com number 116 entry taking the lead. And he led for quite a while. The first incident of the race coming on lap 53 as Charlie Ford and Sean Studer in the Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink car went around. They had to slow it down and start all over again. Then on lap number 76, it was Chris Diamond and Marty Ward. Ward, who went around backwards and started in 8th position, had a good race going until that time. On lap 105, Bill Clements Jr., Shane Huffman, and Jeremy Bowser all got sideways and backwards on the racetrack, along with Andy Thurman. And on lap number 125, David Buggy Fletcher collected the Lucas Oil Halfway Award worth $1,000 to him. And that's where we are right now as Dave Fletcher takes the John Wood shortcut with Wood watching him from second position.
Yeah, now John Wood got to see what it looks like when he has those restarts.
Well, Fletcher watched Wood do it. Now Wood's watching Fletcher take the page out of his book, and Mike Laughlin Jr. trying to get another of his laps back. He went laps down while the crew tried to find a tire problem that eventually turned out to be the rear tire.
Well, you know, these guys in this series better hope that when Mike Laughlin gets his monkey off of his back, he's going to be tough to beat, because when doesn't have the bad brakes, his car is quick.
Motor problems in the first couple of races have had Mike Laughlin Jr. talking to himself, but he says maybe all the bad luck, you know, you get a certain amount of bad luck, maybe I got it all at the beginning of the season. Whoa, is right. As Keith Woody gives us a front row seat for an incident involving Martin Nesbitt.
I definitely had my foot through the wall again.
Yep.
I was on the brake pedal.
Yep, Bill was right through the firewall with his brake foot there. Bill Clemens Jr. parked against the inside guardrail, and after he had gotten a lap back,
and now he goes down another lap.
Here's another look at it. We saw Sean Studer involved, and also the 36 car.
Again, everyone trying to get in one spot going into turn one. Sean Studer and Martin Nesbitt get together.
Yep, the State Fair brand corn dogs car and a Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink. That was a combination that didn't mix. And Jay Fogelman's Jeffco Motorsports KFC crew working hard, and now they're trying to get the hood up. So he's got some more problems.
Yeah, as our producer Eric would say, I guess he's spewing water out of the hood.
Yeah, he's definitely spewing something down there, and it does look like steam. But the guy with the front row seat and the eagle eye view of all of this is Stephen Cox.
Well, David Pletcher is into the pits, and I got to talk to their crew just a couple of minutes ago. Said, guys, are you going to make any changes to the race car at all? Crew member Ricky Vaughn looked up at me, smiled, and he said, we have a very, very good race car. No changes whatsoever for your outside pole sitter, guys.
Big Daddy's barbecue sauce car does look awful good out there. Every bit as good as early race leader John Wood. We'll be right back to see which one of these two guys takes it. United Speed Alliance Racing, the Hooters Pro Cup Series. Tonight it's the Naturally Fresh Foods 250, presented by Johnsonville Bratwurst.
Terry, it seems like somebody really strapped a rocket onto Don Satterfield's #1 tonight. How do you account for such a really fine showing?
Well, we had a lousy start, and the car, all of a sudden, we put some decent tires on it. Car's coming in right now. Before, we had to stagger off a little bit, but it's finally come in.
You know, Don's been at this game so long, he has a really relaxed attitude going into a race. What's he saying on the radio? How does he sound now?
Don sounds pretty confident. He's pretty happy where he is right now. He's praying for rain, really.
Praying for rain. You know, I had to look around the pits to find someone that was as old as me, and it was Don Satterfield. So I talked to him just before the race. I said, well, how come you had to use it provisionally? He said, well, I practiced on old tires the whole time. I bolted on new tires for qualifying, and the car wouldn't handle for anything. He says, I had to change the car all around. And look at it, it's really worked. The guy's running second.
John Wood showing them once again how this restart thing is done. And once again, Mike Laughlin Jr. can't get past him and get a lap back. Don Satterfield running second as we have a look at our Goodyear full field rundown. Jeff Agnew has led a lot of fast guys towards the front, as I thought he might, including Bobby Gill. And as we look down through the rest of the full field rundown, you can see that Marty Lindley, who was running way up there at the top, is cycling back through again. And we're seeing David Pletcher, who stopped this time out, is back in 18th position. Clayton Rogers, a former race leader. Bill Clemens Jr. is in 21st place. He needs to get a lap back again. Charlie Ford had a great run going all this season, long third in points. Back there, Marty Ward, who was involved in a spin in 26th. James Jones. There you can see that a number of accidents have taken a few drivers out of the race, notably Tim Edwards, the first incident of the race. I had a chance to talk to Don Satterfield before the start, and I love going around and asking guys, just kidding, do you know what you're doing? Don Satterfield's the only guy that says, yeah. And I said, you mean if anybody else wants to know, I should send them to you? Don says, send them to me. I know what's going on out here. What a character.
We're looking out of the back of Derek Kelly's car right now, and beautiful shot of, I'm trying to think of Mario, how he's working. I'm watching him work the inside is what I'm watching. Everyone starts to go down low. He actually goes a half a car length under the line. Can't do it 1 and 2. He's doing it 3 and 4. He's really getting underneath everyone in the middle of 3 and 4. And I've noticed what he does is he comes off the corner, sets him up, and then gets him going into 1 and 2.
Bobby Gill has gotten around Jeff Agnew, and at this point in the race, Bobby Gill is probably saying, all right, now's the time to start my push. I've been riding my laps. I've been doing my thing. Now it's time to head for the front, and he's headed that way.
You know, before the race started, we noticed some of the good veterans were in the middle towards the back of the field, and my son Billy was with us here today, and we're talking, and he says, well, what do you think? The rookies are going to clean house like Brian's been rubbing on me all night. And I said, you know, I says, you just got to watch Mario or Bobby Gill. I said, they may not lead, for a long time in the race, but wait till we get towards the end and let's see who's up front. Well, right now it's showing me that the rookies are up front, but we'll see what happens.
If you want to know which way the storm is moving, you watch the eye of the hurricane. Bobby Gill and Mario Gosselin.
Look at though, Mike Laughlin Jr. has made up another lap. I mean, this guy's made up 3 laps already so far.
But did you also notice that for the second time, John Wood just let him go?
Well, again, smart move.
A payback may come later if John needs a little bit of a break. And the veteran, Mike Laughlin, just may say, I remember you did me a favor. I'll do you one back and move over, let you go by if you need a lap.
Hey, let me clue you in. You don't give the rookies the break.
Okay, all right. Duly noted. As Derek Kelly is getting a little bit of help. I think they've hooked up in a draft now, haven't they? Is that what that is?
I wouldn't call it a draft. I think they're stuck. Yeah, they're definitely stuck. See that?
Yep.
You can't even put a piece of paper between their bumpers.
Derek Kelly's got a tow hitch on the back, and he's towing Mario Gosselin around. Is that what you're trying to say?
Shane Huffman and Johnsonville Broadway's car.
Bringing the Johnsonville Broad car down on the inside. They're tearing off some loose bodywork and send him on his way.
Yeah, his rear bumper seemed to get a little help getting removed on the racetrack.
Mario Gosselin has definitely got a surgeon's touch out there on that throttle and brake pedal. He's been working Derek Kelly. He's leaning on him now, and then he goes by.
See, I said, he works you coming off 3 and 4, and then he gets you getting into 1 and 2. I've watched him do it to everybody tonight. He's really got a good system on how to pass everybody.
He is definitely heading towards the front, and only 2 spots behind him is Bobby Gill. So the 2 great veterans and former champions started, Gill started deep in the field. Gosselin started up front in 5th position. Those 2 guys, and there we go, Clayton Rogers around on the racetrack. Now he was back deep in the field, a little bit deeper in the field after stopping. Former leader of this race, and now he's taking the Fire Protection Services number 2. He just can't get it and get backed up on the track. Okay, that's Dave Jones, or rather Dave Fletcher behind him.
Oh, he definitely.
Yeah.
You know, it looked like Clayton Rogers got on the brakes from hitting the car in front of him, and then Dave Fletcher got underneath him and spun him.
One of those chain reaction situations. Stephen Cox down in the infield is caught up with Jay Fogelman.
Jay, anytime you talked to me before the checkered flag, something went wrong. What was it?
Just a lot going on. You know, we got bad track position, just never got any track position, and well, I don't know what happened up, and everybody slowed down, and when they slowed down, the car got on the brakes, and the car just wheel hopped real bad, and I got in the back of Marty, and just I couldn't get off the brakes, couldn't get on, the car just wouldn't stop, and back in went to wheel hopping real bad. So I don't know, it's just a bad night. It's a tough racetrack, and a lot of stuff happened tonight, and just no way around it. Long night.
We knew it was a small racetrack. How's the traffic congestion out there, and is it as bad as it looks from here?
It's terrible. I mean, the cars are about out of control by themselves. You know, it's a little bitty racetrack, and then you've got traffic everywhere, and just track position is the biggest thing. We didn't have any track position all night long, and we stayed right in the middle of basically everything that happened. And you know, I got into people got into me. It was just a bad night. Wasn't anything to do, just short track racing.
New dad, Jay Fogelman, said he left the Twins at home with his in-laws to come to the racetrack, but it just didn't work out for him tonight. Join us Saturday, May 6th at Myrtle Beach Speedway for the Mark Brooks Memorial Hooters 250. I suggest you go to the racetrack, watch the Hooters Pro Cup, then go shopping or to the beach.
There's 3 things to do in Myrtle Beach: golf, shop, and race.
We're going to go race, golf, and shop.
You got it.
There we go. As the Hooters crew of Bill Clemens is looking on right now, hoping that their man, more pain and all, can get the job done here tonight and pick up his first win in the Hooters Pro Cup Series. We're under caution at Ace Speedway behind leader John Wood.
Look what's wrong. Look at that car.
What's wrong? His car is beat all to heck.
No, that car ain't bad. Look at this thing. I mean, the whole left side of the car is smooth. Somebody's got to take care of this.
Well, they were pulling, they were tugging and pulling on the right side of the car a little bit. There we go. All right. Whew, now I feel better. Yeah, we can't have a good-looking car like that more than halfway through a Hooters Pro Cup race on a 0.4 of a mile track. Something would be wrong. But John Wood has run squeaky clean out here tonight after qualifying on the pole.
And look who's running second.
Yeah, Satterfield looks good. Got a
Oh man, there's still hope for me yet.
And we're watching
All right,
Mario Gosling's car.
Let's see what kind of restart we got.
It's going to be coming pretty quick. John Wood stands on it, lets off, stands on it again, and pulls about 3 car lengths on Don Satterfield.
Yeah, but he didn't use the apron this time.
And he got Stephen Christian down in between him and the second place car. Christian with a very fast car out here tonight. Started dead last, 33rd. Had to take a former rookie champion provisional just to get in the field. That's how competitive the Hooters Pro Cup is here in the year 2000. Mario Gosling down on the inside and
Bobby
passed.
Gill. Bobby Gill looked like he tapped the inside of the guardrail, got sideways.
Gosling got by Don Satterfield. Now we're on board with David Fletcher back in 11th place, and he's making up ground. Just ahead of him is Kevin Barrett in the number 11 car there. It's the Sykes Cooper's car, and sideways.
I was going to say, all right, now let's see how soon it is before he touches the car in front of him. He's going to do it again now. He's going to stay clean this time. You can almost tell sitting here if he's going to be able to, he's going to hit him again. See, you can tell, you can see it.
Yep.
And there's a car spinning right
and there's somebody in front of him, so they're checking up behind, and it's Keith Woody, who was a couple of spots ahead. The Sandvik Coromant Company car of the man who is from nearby Burlington, North Carolina, and as we have said several times, has a lot of laps here on a Speedway. Another look at it. There you can see it's already starting to happen as Woody is going around. Studer checks up and gets by. Barrett goes by. There we see Lindley, Martin Nesbitt. Here's another look from on board with Keith Woody. He's going around.
You hear him? He kept his foot in the throttle. You hear that?
Yep.
What that does, when you get spun and you keep your foot in the throttle, it keeps the car from spinning upwards and hitting the wall, the outside wall. It usually lets you spin completely around. Most of the time, you don't hit anything.
A look at the naturally fresh Mountain Springwater car of Andy Thurman that won the season opener. And more action down on pit road. Let's go to Stephen Cox. What do you got for us, Stephen?
Yet another contusion down here in the pits, guys, and once again, we've got rear end damage to a race car, and we've seen that so many times over and over on this little racetrack. Once again, it's the 83 car that's in this time. It's Keith Woody. He's a rookie that's come out here to run again with the USAR Pro Cup Series. Heavy rear end damage to the race car, a very small racetrack and a lot of cars on it.
Now, Bill, do any of the teams have a baseball bat sponsor that you know of?
Yeah, I don't know if they have a sponsor, but I know it keeps one in the pits.
Yeah, I like contusion. We'll have to remember that, Stephen. Thanks. We'll be right back. Well, they're bench racing in the grandstand here at Ace Speedway, but down on pit road, Stephen Cox is caught up with the crew chief for the 5 car.
You guys came all the way from 20th position. I was worried that he might use the car up before he ever got to the front.
Well, the car's a little off tonight. We had about the worst pit stop you'll ever see in your life. So we gave up track position we should have had and just been chipping away one by one.
Has he got a car that can win now?
I don't think we've got enough for the win, but he's there's no one tougher than Bobby behind the wheel, so we're going to get what we can out of it.
Well, Bobby Gill is up to 5th, and Stephen Christian has just passed the leader to get his lap back, while Marty Ward had parked it up against the wall in the 97 car, but he got it going again. He's down on pit road, no caution.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Marty. Kind of got up on the wall, car stopped. They didn't throw the yellow, and he kept on coming.
Well, and talk about tough behind the wheel, and Bobby Gill had a chance in a truck race this weekend, was leading until the truck broke. So he's back here running his Hooters Pro Cup car after having a ride in one of the trucks this weekend.
Brian, you were talking about those people bench racing. Did you see who was in that crowd? Johnny Rumley and Dean Gokel, 2 Pro Cup drivers.
All right. Well, maybe they think that if they were out there, they could be getting it done. Andy Thurman circled slowly around the racetrack. We've seen him doing that for quite a while as we watch Stephen Christian, who has his lap back now, leading John Wood, the race leader, around the track. Wood led the first 77 laps of this contest. Down on pit road, the 07 car is down there, and Stephen Cox is with Tim Clayton.
What's very difficult to stay out of trouble on a racetrack this crowded. Tim Clayton once again will come into the pits, and this time they're looking at the rear end of the car. They're going to take it up in the air and try to find a mechanical problem. The first time we came in, it was some heavy front-end damage from an earlier accident. This time mechanical troubles, and this time it's under green, which takes Tim Clayton out of the running.
Never like to pit under green, Bill Venturini, and there's another example of why, as these guys are still hauling the mail around a Speedway while Tim Clayton's sitting on pit road.
And did you see Stacy Purrier go underneath Mario Gosselin? It's the first person I've seen go under Mario Gosselin tonight.
Well, Stacy Purrier, we know he's a good chassis man. We know he's a good race car driver. We know he's a fast qualifier, and it's time to go racing. Purrier's doing just that. Bobby Gill and Mario Gosselin, the eye of the hurricane, I call them. These two guys, all the action revolves around them, it seems, in every Hooters Pro Cup race. And once again, they have found one another here at Ace Speedway.
I think these two guys, you know, they're like the cream and the Oreo cookie. They're always kind of stuck together. Mario and Bobby Gill, those guys they just always seem to work themselves up to the front. I don't care where they start or what happens. You know, unless they have a mechanical problem, you know they're going to be in contention to win.
David Pletcher in the 51 car has been fast all night. Mike Laughlin Jr. has been fast but had some bad luck. He's been getting laps back, just not enough of them to be on the lead lap. Let's listen in on Dave Pletcher.
The longer this thing runs, the better it's getting. Yes, it look real good. I think that's just driver finesse, though.
Yeah, you can tell who said that one.
Yeah, well, the driver's saying the car's good and the crew's saying the driver's good. They're just rubbing each other on the back. Caution out on the racetrack. We see the 83 of Keith Woody down on the inside. Here's what happened from his onboard cameras. He got in, checked up, but not quick enough. Got into the back of Regan Smith in the 28 car there. Regan's been having a tough night in the Lakeside Motorsports entry.
Yeah, boy, Regan's been involved in quite a few of them right now.
Well, the leader is still John Wood. For the second time, he's been showing the field the way around Ace Speedway here in the Naturally Fresh Foods 250. At Ace Speedway, we're getting ready to go back to racing behind leader John Wood and the number 116 GoRacing.com Ford, the young man who's been the class of the field all during practice and for most of this race. Here he goes again.
And look who's on the outside of it, Bill Clemens Jr. from Hooters Ford, trying to make up his lap again. He's made it up once, got involved in a second wreck, and ended up going a lap down again. And it doesn't look like Stacy Purrier kind of pushed him out of the way a little.
Take a look at the top 10 and where they started, where they're running now. Stephen Christian, who started 33rd, is up to 9th. We've seen him running among the leaders pretty regularly here for the last, 60, 70 laps or so. He's made a run towards the front, nearly complete. Bobby Gill, who started from 20th, is right there. And young Brian Vickers, who started up front, is down inside 3 wide. Let's listen in on Brian Vickers. You know his crew's got to be talking about this.
Close it up behind the 5 that do not keep coming.
This is Brabbing and Babbling on a Saturday, Friday night at Ace Speedway.
Rattling and battling, I like that. Brian Vickers, who started 22nd here tonight, is doing a fine job running towards the front. Marty Ward going on the outside, and Charlie Ford. Look at Bobby Gill and Brian Vickers running one behind the other. Man, I mean, these guys have moved and shuffled and battled and rattled all over this racetrack here tonight. Vickers 5th, Bobby Gill 4th, Gosselin 3rd.
Look at this, Brian. Another new little graphic that we've got showing the time difference between the leaders and where everyone's running. I like this.
And it was also showing rookies running 1st and 2nd.
Oh, yeah.
With the veterans 3rd and on back. Discount Auto Parts Chevrolet of Derek Kelly giving us a look here as John Wood leads Stacy Purrier.
You know, we're going to have our little side bet here. We're going to have to put some money on this rookie veteran deal.
Well, you made the point very well that, well, the rookies have done well in qualifying, but how many of them have won yet this year? It's looking a little bit better here right now.
Yeah, okay.
Looking a little bit better here right now as John Wood and Stacy Purrier going after it. And the rookies have done a terrific job
Okay, look at that. Oh my gosh, out of the top 5, 3 of them are rookies. All right, you got me covered right now. Come on, Mario and Bobby and everyone. Come on, Bill Clemens, let's go.
Terrific racing, veteran-like racing between John Wood and Stacy Puryear. And of course, both these guys, we call them rookies, but it's not like they just fell off a turnip wagon here. These guys have been racing for a long time,
they're
just elsewhere.
Yeah, they're rookies in this series.
That's exactly
now,
right.
Wait a minute, I don't know how many laps John Wood really can have because he's kind of a young guy here, but you're right. Most of the when we talk rookies, we're talking about in this series.
There's our top 5 for the Goodyear full field rundown. Let's take a look all the way down as Jeff Agnew, former champion, is also making a nice run towards the front, taking Derek Kelly and a few others with him. Mark Nesbitt, John Kinder, Darrell Hayes starting the second 10. Let's listen in once again on David Fletcher's crew and the driver.
Keep an eye on the brakes to make sure I ain't gonna blow them up.
Are you having to use a lot of brake?
A little bit, yeah. Car's kind of tight in the middle. Let's put a little more rear brake to her.
What you're talking about?
Yeah,
no.
As we're ready to talk about it, he gets into Derek Kelly, but he says, let's put a little more rear brake into it. He's afraid he's going to lose his front brakes because he's using them so much. So what you do is there's a dial usually on the dash, and you can put a little more rear or front brake to it, and he wants to put more rear brake to it. That's actually to save the front brakes is what it's for. Oh, look at this. Stacy Puryear gets into John Wood coming off the corner.
Well, Fletcher's crew chief told him, don't glow them up.
Yep.
Meaning don't get them so red hot that they go away on you. There we do see great glow. There's a little bit off leader John Wood.
See how bright his right front rotor is.
Yep. And you know what, Bill? Brakes are the subject of this week's Tech Tip. Here's Stephen Cox.
Well, they say it depends on your driver. Some drivers will go through 3 or 5 or some 8 or 10 sets of brake pads in a year, and it just depends on how hard they stomp the brakes and how much money you want to spend. You know, these are expensive, and Steve Christian can tell us what we're looking at exactly here, Steve.
Well, on this side, we've got the late model setup, basically. It's for a lightweight 2,800-pound car. On this side here, we have a Pro Cup type system. If you notice, the rotor here is a lot bigger than the rotor on the late model car. The Pro Cup rotor is a lot heavier, obviously. In the calipers, you see small pistons here, a small physical caliper overall, as compared to the Pro Cup rotor, where the pistons are enormous compared to those. The pads are the same way. You've got a lot more surface area here than you do on the late model style pad. All this translates into better braking, which also translates into more heat.
You know, we had heat problems last year, too. Talk about that a little bit. There were some teams building up so much heat in the front right tire that they were blowing tires over this.
They really were, and basically all you can do is try to direct some cool air to that area of the car. You'll try to cool the caliper, which is a big problem, the rotors themselves, which is a big problem as well. Ultimately, you want to keep the brake fluid as cool as you can to keep from boiling it and evaporating it.
So if you ever smell something scorching, you're in big trouble.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, they're big, they're mean, they're nasty, and they're very, very expensive. The calipers alone on the front are $900 a pop. In fact, count on about $1,500 for each of the front 2 wheels.
Well, we know that as important as it is to go, it's also important to be able to modulate your speed. That's what the brakes do, and man, with these cars, it's a full-time job on a short track like this. Mario Gosselin and Bobby Gill. And we go back to the leader, John Wood, and rookie Stacy Puryear, pole sitter from Lakeland. So the pole sitter from this race, the pole sitter from the first race of the year, going after it with 2 veterans just behind them.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I want you to look and see the 2 guys behind the 2 rookies.
Well, I have all the respect in the world for Mario Gosselin and Bobby Gill, and while I sing the praises of the rookie drivers, I know that the veteran guys are the ones that usually get the job done. Rookies have to prove themselves, but the rookie class for the year 2000 in the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series is memorable, to say the least. 9 out of the top 20 qualifiers for this race were rookies.
You know, I'm looking at the first 4 cars. John Wood, his right front rotor's glowing red. Mario Gosselin in the Irmo Grading Chevrolet, his is glowing red. And so is Bobby Gill's, but Stacy Puryear's were fine. I don't know if he's just not using the brakes or what the deal is, but right now, if that's the situation, he's got the best car with his brakes on the way he's got them right now.
Looking at Derek Kelly, firing some smoke around the racetrack, getting the back end of his own car loose. And we've got everybody checking up over in the far end turn 1-2 area. Kevin Barrett at the front of the parade Don Satterfield in the #1 Hawk Sawblades car, and leader John Wood got balked up in there, down on the inside with nowhere to go, and a couple of the cars he was racing with went past him. So now John Wood moving again, and Derek Kelly with his car smoking badly from the back end or up under the middle of the car. Maybe a rear end problem or some grease leaking in that area. Let's have another look at the incident. Kevin Barrett up in the front of the group. Here's where everybody starts to check up and come to a halt. Shane Huffman just gets by on the outside. Everybody goes to the outside. Gosselin almost got stopped. Gill got around him. Here's another look as Kevin Barrett went around with a little help from Darrell Hayes, it looked like, in the 45 car.
Don Satterfield just runs into Kevin Barrett.
And a third look. Here we go. Here's everybody slowing down. Yep, Hayes and Barrett got together. Satterfield Wood got stopped. Puryear got around. So did Bobby Gill. Gosselin had to come out from behind the melee there, and the order is definitely shuffled. And it is John Wood who kind of came up a loser in that one. And his crew is really squawking on the radios right now. Kevin Barrett going down onto pit road. Talmadge Thomas, the crew chief on the 116 car, is with one of the USAR officials discussing the situation and whether or not they're going to put him back in his spot, which was race leader, or whether they're going to consider that he just got caught up in the wreck. Fire under the car there of Derek Kelly as the crew is.
You look at it underneath, you can see it. What it is, I think the problem is he's got a transmission or an oil leak, and that's what the smoke was. They just put it out with the fire extinguisher. But you notice it doesn't actually flame up until he comes to a stop.
Let's go down to Stephen Cox with the crew on John Wood's car.
Well, USAR officials have reviewed the situation and discussed the situation with the 116 crew chief of John Wood, and here's what they decided. John Wood's car will go back behind the #1 car, and he will lose a number of positions. Now, of course, John Wood's crew came in and pled, said, look, it's not our fault. We got hung up in someone else's accident, and there was nowhere for us on the racetrack to go. Well, the ruling was they were involved with the yellow, whether it was their fault or not. John Wood may have seen his first Hooters Pro Cup win just slip between his fingers.
Well, this late in the race, that is a tough break as Derek Kelly comes out onto the track, and the USAR official is waving him off again because there's still fire in the hole there. You can see the glowing yellow underneath the car and smoke pouring out from the side. They're bringing a fire truck out, and the official throwing caution, his own personal safety to the wind. Now they're sending him on his way again. And around the racetrack goes Derek Kelly. The fire seems to have put itself out. We'll be back. Things are hot here tonight. United Speed Alliance Racing Hooters Pro Cup action from Ace Speedway, the Naturally Fresh Foods 250, presented by Johnsonville Bratwurst. Derek Kelly is taking the 21 car behind the wall with Stephen Cox.
Well, Derek Kelly's car has been fairly well beat to pieces like many of the other cars out here tonight. And he actually had a fire underneath the engine compartment. You could see it glowing bright red. You couldn't actually see the flames, but you could see this red-orange glow on the ground underneath the car. Well, everybody reacted except for Derek, who didn't know what was happening. They just now brought him in, and the fire's already out again.
Stephen and the crew hustling over there behind the wall in the turn 3-4 area where Derek Kelly's crew had taken the car. And Stacy Puryear goes back to green, leans on Bill Plemons Jr. and uses him like a cushion on a pool table. And Plemons had an opportunity to get his lap back, didn't do it there. But he's dogging Stacy Puryear. Now he gets it. He gets underneath that time and made it work.
So he's made up his lap twice now. Twice now to make up his lap.
You know, it's almost as tough keeping track of Bill Plemons losing a lap and gaining a lap as it is scoring from the top down. Oh, and Stacy Puryear got across the front of Mario Gosselin's car, and Gosselin just stayed on the gas, sent Puryear around. He didn't get into the wall, and that's a good thing. Well, maybe just a light tap, but yep, he's got a little damage there to that corner of the race car. but it could have been a lot worse for Stacy Purrier as he went across the nose of the 16 car, and here was the result. Yeah, he's got the right rear locked up there. I saw smoke off the right side tire.
Yeah.
And then he's locking him up, trying to stay off the wall. No, I don't think he hit it there. That must have been
so either.
Another look. Yep, Gosselin just tapped him, got on the brakes, backed out, but it was too late. I don't know. You're the race car driver. What happened there?
I don't know. You know, Mario had the line. He was getting in pretty deep, but you know, you can tell these guys sure aren't happy about it.
Specifically, Ricky Benton, the car owner of Stacy Purrier's RBR Enterprises machine. We're back, and there is Mario Gosselin's Carter Grendel number 16, the Irmo grading machine, and the new race leader with Bobby Gill right behind him, and it kind of looks like the veterans have shuffled to the front again there.
Yeah, but now
Billy V.
Look who's running third, Brian Vickers in the CV Product Chevrolet.
Yep, rookie driver Brian Vickers, John Wood in fourth position. Well, just fifth actually, just behind Don Satterfield, and Mario Gosselin takes him back to green. He started fifth. Bobby Gill, you can see there, started 20th. Vickers 22nd. Satterfield 32nd. So 3 out of the top 4 have really come up from the back. The run at the front here when it counts. 13 laps to go. And there is Gosselin and Gill.
Look at Bobby Gill looking on the outside of Mario. You know, no one's been able to pass on the outside tonight. I've never seen it. You know, everyone kind of gets underneath the guy and kind of moves him up that quarter lane that they extra need, because you said it's only 3/4 of a car wide. Bobby Gill's well, as I said, he looks underneath him now.
10 laps to go. A little bit of left rear damage evident on Gosselin's car. He gets loose.
Whoa.
Gill tried to take advantage of it, but Mario gathered it back.
Bobby got
it. But Bobby Gill took, scrubbed off a little speed. Gosselin scrubbed off a little speed with that save, and it's all Bobby Gill needed to jet on by him. And now we've got a big problem with Shane Huffman. He's cooking bratwurst down there, but he's cooking the bratwurst car instead. And the Johnsonville number 84 has got a big problem.
Boy, that car really flamed up.
Yeah, and the left front tire down. That's where a lot of the sparks and fire were coming from. He was involved with the 08 car of John Kinder, the dailydrill.com entry.
Look at the whole left side of the car tore up.
There's Kinder's car, also involved in the incident with bodywork hanging off the front. And yes, there are cosmetically challenged race cars all over the track now. Better look at it. There's Kinder getting sideways. And he comes across the track right in front of him. Right? Oh, and Shane Huffman stood on the brakes. Tire caught the fender. Looks like it might have cut the tire down. He's bouncing over his own stuff there.
You know what that was? That was the oil cooler.
Oh, man.
He tore the oil cooler off. That was an oil part.
Wow. Well, it's going to be something. Welcome back here to the Naturally Fresh Foods 250. Derek Kelly, a spectator. That's not where he wants to be and not where we like to see him. That's for sure. Let's go to Stephen Cox again with the crew chief of the 5 car, the Dews.
They say in racing sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. What do you think?
Well, I don't look at it as being lucky when you got that good a driver behind the wheel. That's not luck threading through that. That's other guys being stupid and whatnot. We're taking advantage of it. There's still about 3 to go. We ain't got nothing in the bag till it's over.
There's a guy guaranteeing his job, saying it's my driver. It's got nothing to do with luck.
And the driver guaranteeing loyalty by saying the crew gave me a great car. Now let's go back to just before halfway, because we're going to hand out the incentive risk management smart move of the race. Watch Chris Diamond, number 99. Whoa! Just misses the wall down on the inside of the Dale Jarrett J&L Motors number 99. And that was a hard-stopping smart move of the race for Chris Diamond. Now we go back to the action here. It's going to be green, white, checkers, flags flying in that order, with Bobby Gill and Mario Gosselin in a shootout to the finish. Gill gets the jump, 2 car lengths on Gosselin. Vickers, Satterfield, and Wood pretty much in spectator positions right now. Vickers looks like he might have something for Mario Gosselin. John Wood coming down on the low side on Don Satterfield. Satterfield stays in it and keeps the position. But all of that just lets Bobby Gill go jetting away from Mario Gosselin, who's fighting a little bit of a loose race car right now. And Bobby Gill has set sail for the last flag of the race, the checkered flag, and there it is. A second consecutive victory in the year 2000 for Bobby Gill.
You know, this guy, what a cagey veteran here, Bobby Gill.
John Wood, who led the first 77 laps of the race, led again later on for another 9, and the crew chief of the race goes to Bobby Gill. Steve Dusnevsky, the News, everybody knows him, and crewed that car from 20th to a victory here tonight, even after he said we didn't have enough to win it.
Those Billy Hess chassis cars really know how to get to the finish line.
There's the News being congratulated by the rest of his crew. Fine job, fellas. The USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series has been brought to you by Hooters Restaurants. Hooters, delightfully tacky yet unrefined. And by Jackaroo Sausage. Jackaroo tastes so great they named their steakhouse after it. By Naturally Fresh Dressing. It's not just our name, it's our promise. And by Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer. Here comes that great veteran race car driver, Bobby Gill, and you'd have to say that if it was a top 5 car, this is the guy that put it in the top 1. Right here, Bob. Here's Stephen Cox.
You know, I ran into Bobby Gill in the pits before the race started, and we were shooting the breeze for a couple of minutes, and I said, look, I know you didn't get a good starting spot, but don't use your race car up getting to the front. Well, you didn't. Congratulations. Did you think this was going to happen?
No, really. We had about a 5th place car tonight. I don't know, it seemed like we got the front end knocked in 2 or 3 times, all the wrecks and stuff, but I think it helped the car handle good there. It was getting also bite off the corner, and it's unbelievable to me. I sure thought we was going to have a 5th place car, but everything come out good. I got to thank my sponsor, PGT, Carrera Shocks, Automotive Special, Billy Hess. Without them, it wouldn't be this possible.
Bobby, I know you don't have a whole lot of race laps at this racetrack, but did your experience play into all this? The traffic out there had to be terrible.
Oh, it was unreal. I mean, there for the beginning, we couldn't go nowhere, and our car wasn't that good, and we pitted, and then I got a penalty for dropping down too soon, and I just really didn't think we was going to win it tonight, but I tell you, this Ford Taurus come around good today.
Go get your check, Bobby.
Thank you.
Derek Kelly's crew taking the car out of the racetrack after a less than successful night for the driver of the 21. As we take a look at the race results, Gill and Gosselin, the veterans, on top. Brian Vickers, leading rookie, and John Wood rounding up the top 5.
See who finished 4th? Don Satterfield. Best run ever for Don Satterfield.
Hats off to the man who said, I know what's going on, send them to me. Bill Plemons Jr. finishing at 11th spot.
Hey, Bill Plemons, I think he passed more cars than anyone. He had to make up 3 laps tonight.
Yeah, and Stephen Christian down there made a good run from dead last starting position as we look at all of the results. First race winner Andy Thurman finishing in 23rd. Mike Laughlin Jr. made up a lot of laps, but he lost more than he made up, so he couldn't get any higher than he did here tonight. Keith Woody, the track veteran. Tim Edwards, first guy out in the number 12 car. You know he'll bounce back for a better race next time out. And that's when we'll see you at Myrtle Beach. Will be the next race on the Hooters Pro Cup schedule. As Bobby Gill poses for photographs, we take a look at the points. Mario Gosselin has had the best 3 races. Gill had problems in that opener, and he's second in points. Andy Thurman starts the second 5 by virtue of points he gained with his win. Jeff Agnew rounds out the top 10. Well, the crowd's filing out, but Stephen Cox has read our mind. We got to hear from John Wood.
Your Discount Auto Parts pole sitter was quick all night long. Now, John, it looked like you were getting pushed by Stacy there at the end of the race, and then all of a sudden you got caught up in traffic. Give me the story on that.
Well, you know, we were fighting for the lead with Stacy, and, you know, I mean, we were just, you know, leader in second place bumping. You know, that goes on. We're coming up on the lap cars, and that was a mess. Then one guy spun out, and, you know, we stopped. They said they'd already been on the radio telling me not to be racing back to the flag. Well, then I stop and wait. Well, then I get put to the back. Something I didn't quite understand, but, you know, that's how it goes. And so we went back to, like, whatever, 6th or 7th, and ended up 5th.
It didn't look like, though, that was a singular problem. It looked like a problem with traffic that was plaguing everybody all night long, especially you guys up front.
Well, see, anytime, I mean, this track is so small, as soon as we would come up on that lap traffic, it was just a mess. I mean, they're fighting for position. You can't blame them for, wanting to race. And, I mean, just stuff like that happens, and it's just one of those things you just got to deal with.
Well, John Wood, in spite of being a little bit disappointed, will go away from here with the rookie points lead. However, the Miller Lite Rookie of the Race will be a different name. He's the man in second position right now. Brian Vickers, with a terrific run here tonight, earns the honors as the Miller Lite Rookie of the Race, driving the number 42 car, the 2 Quick Performance entry. Started 22nd, finished 3rd. And the State Fair brand Corn Dogs Hard Charger goes to Don Satterfield, who started next to last and finished 4th. What a great run for him. Don't forget to join us here on Speed Vision for the coverage of the Mark Brooks Memorial Hooters 250 from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Until then, our congratulations to Bobby Gill. And we want to let you know that you can find out all about what we're doing on www.speedvision.com. Way to go, veteran Bobby Gill. Go get him next time, rookie drivers. For Bill Venturini and Stephen Cox, I'm Brian Trevor saying so long, everybody. And if you're a fan of rookie drivers, you got to wait one more time.